Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy. Today I'll be shipping out my sale. It is Tuesday, October 29th, and these are my sales from over the weekend. So let's get started. Most of the items are sales from Poshmark, and I do have one Cherish sale. Okay, so the first item is this really cool vintage alligator or crocodile little wallet clutch. I just really thought this was pretty. I picked it up at an estate sale. It ended up selling for $75. Some of these exotic pieces can sell for high dollar amounts. I've mentioned it before that I don't make it a practice of purchasing new fur or exotic leathers new. But when it's vintage or pre-owned, I feel like it would be a waste for it just to go to the landfill and, you know, have the animal have died for nothing. We're all entitled to our own view on, you know, how we think about furs or leather or meat. That is just my view, and you guys are definitely welcome to handle it how you prefer. So again, it sold for $75. I paid $5 for it. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods and any shipping discounts, that made my profit $55. I think that's really great. This did take a while to sell, maybe close to a year. Okay, so the next item that sold is a pair of cowboy boots. These have also been listed probably close to a year. They are Laredo brand, and they're just this kind of distressed leather. These sold for $71, I believe, with discounted shipping. I paid about $2 for them. I got them at a fill the bag sale. That made my profit $52.78. I think that is great, even though they did take a little while to sell. Sometimes cowboy boots are a quick seller for me, and sometimes they are not. I think I only have one or two other pairs currently listed, but as I mentioned before, I have a whole bunch that are pending being cleaned and listed. So hopefully I can get my act together and get those listed. I have a lot of inventory that needs to be listed. I have a backlog of thrift with me videos that I have the thrift with me part done. Some of them I have the haul done, some of them I do not, and I just have not edited them. So I am hoping in the next month or so to get those edited so you guys can look forward to some thrifting videos, you know, come holiday time. So did I say my profit was $52.78 on those? Those were men's boots. So the next item that sold is this pair of big kids, Columbia snow boots, and these sold for $29. One of my fellow local reseller friends, Morgan, he gave these to me at a fill the bag sale. These also took about a year to sell, but I am appreciative of him for giving them to me. So if you're watching, Morgan, thank you very much. I paid about $2 for them, so that made my profit $21.20. I don't typically pick up kids items, but these were in nice condition and I felt like they were a pretty substantial piece. That's why I decided to list them. The next item was plain and simple a bad buy, but it finally ended up selling for $40. It is this AllSaints purse, and the reason it was a bad buy is, number one, it took a really long time to sell, but this is why. It's damaged, it's all distressed, which the body of the bag isn't too bad. It's really the handle. So it's AllSaints brand, like I said, and that is why I picked it up. I had never found this brand before, and I love their leather quality and kind of the overall style of all of the items. And did I say at this point I had never found this brand before, so when I found it at our Goodwill, I was super excited. And even though this bag was completely beat up, I bought it anyways. Sometimes I have poor judgment. I'm sure you've all experienced that before. And sometimes, even in good condition, these expensive brands don't resell for as much as we think that they should. This took, I would guess, over 2 years to sell. But it's totally understandable. Looking at it, the condition is just not there. But if you know if there's a cobbler in your town, which I don't have a cobbler locally, and I don't think it would be terribly expensive for them to reglaze the edges of that handle. Anyways, hopefully this buyer read all the description and looked at all the photos, and I won't get a return on it or a return request. I was very specific in all of the pictures and the photos showing all of the damage. Anyways, I'm happy to see it go. I paid $6 for this. So that made my profit $23.98. If that had been a quick flip, it would have been fine, but definitely not worth waiting a couple of years for that profit for a beat up bag. Live and learn. I won't get excited or overzealous picking up damaged items again. Now, if I buy something and figure out it's damaged later, I will still list it, but I'm definitely not going to pick up something on purpose. Okay, looks like I forgot to get a box out for that. Let's see, the last item that sold is just this Eddie Bauer sweatshirt pullover, and I impulsively picked this up for myself because I liked the kind of geometric, maybe slightly Aztec print on it. But I do this a lot. I pick up sweatshirts for myself, and I just don't really wear very many sweatshirts, especially printed sweatshirts. Like I have this one, but it is a knit. It's like a sweater, and it has kind of this cute sleeve detail. And so I will wear. It sold for $14. This isn't something that I would have picked up for resale, but I did end up making a profit on it. The other reason I got it was because it was half off, so I only paid $3 for it. So that made my, says it made my profit $11, but I think I must have written that down wrong, because that wouldn't include subtracting the fees. But my profit was probably not $8 or $9. Again, not why I bought it, but I am happy to move it on. It was in really great condition too. Let's see, I will put this in here. So I really have, I mentioned this last week, I have not been listing very many new items on Poshmark. I've really been trying to relist a lot of my old inventory and move out some of those things. And hopefully here soon, I'm going to get my act together and get some new items listed. But it has really felt good to get my overall number of listings down. I think I'm down around 950 listings, and I had over 1,100 listings earlier in the year. So that part feels good. The piles of unlisted inventory do not feel good. My favorite estate sale company is having their last estate sale of the season, so I won't be picking up, you know, larger amounts of inventory from them until they start their season again. So I'll have plenty of things to list. And yeah, I just kind of pick up less things in the winter time typically. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, so I'll share this. I sold it on Cherish. I also just got approved to sell jewelry on Cherish. So on Cherish, you have to fill out application to sell jewelry and accessories. They don't allow you to sell clothes on there, but you have to fill out the application and send them a link to your website or kind of a overview of the type of jewelry and accessories that you sell to be approved to sell on there. So I'm excited to give that a try. It's not their main kind of focus on there, but I thought for the holiday season, I might give it a try and I might be able to sell some of my costume jewelry for higher prices on there. So I sold this really pretty red vase on Cherish, and I believe it is a hand blown piece based on the bottom. I'm not certain though. This sold for $73. It was given to me by a former customer of mine. They have bought a lot of different things from me. They're a really nice couple. And from time to time, they'll go through their house and kind of get rid of things that they have replaced with something else or that doesn't go with their decor anymore. And they'll just drop off a box for me and give it to me. And I think that's really sweet of them. I've also given them some great deals over the years on furniture and other items because they have been customers of mine for over 10 years. So like I said, this sold for $73. It didn't cost me anything. So that made my profit $58.26. I'm thrilled with that. I'll get that packaged up off camera. So that is it for me. Like I said, these are sales from the week of October 28th. I wonder how your guys' sales have been. It sounds like a lot of people's sales are kind of down, which is understandable. I think a lot of people are focusing on the upcoming election, the holidays coming up, along with Poshmark making those changes behind the scene. I think that, you know, that all can affect our sales. If we just keep listing and sourcing good inventory, I'm sure that things will start to pick up again as we get closer to Christmas and people are shopping. Fingers crossed. I hope that all of our sales are really great for the rest of fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell. And as always, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would do that. It really means a lot to me and it helps me out. It also doesn't cost you anything. Also, if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd give it a thumbs up and make a comment down below. Those things also help me out. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Friday and I've got a few things to ship out. My sales have remained pretty slow. I only sold one thing on Poshmark since I shipped last, but luckily I had 2 sales on Cherish. So the item that sold on Poshmark is this fun vintage gold tone bracelet, and it has these pretty flower links. It's really chunky and kind of statement. You guys know me. I love picking up vintage jewelry, and I just hadn't seen something like this before, so I definitely wanted to grab it. It didn't take a terribly long time to sell either, maybe a couple of months, and it sold for $32. I paid $2 for this. So after Posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $21.58. I think that's great. That's really about the amount that I anticipated this would sell for. Okay, the next item that sold is this vintage brass ashtray, trinket dish, catch-all dish. I use all those keywords when I'm listing this kind of thing. Vintage 1970s brass ashtray catch-all dish, Peruvian folk art motif. I wasn't exactly sure how to describe this, but those figures looked Peruvian to me, and I'm pretty sure I did do some research to properly describe it. It ended up selling for $51. I think that's really great for a little ashtray. And that's one thing I want to be sure to make a point of is that if you are selling an ashtray that has not been used as an ashtray, be sure to put trinket and catch-all dish in your description too, because a lot of people will use these, you know, on their entry table or on their dresser to put keys or jewelry in. And surprisingly, I sell a lot of vintage ashtrays as catch-all dishes. I only paid $1 for this, so that made my profit $39.22. I am happy about that. I will add some bubble wrap to that too. The shippers just came and picked up that. I heard something. They just came and picked up the chairs, the gray chairs that I sold a couple of weeks ago, and the large scale painting. So hopefully, oh, I guess I need to tell you what this is. Hopefully those will be delivered to the buyers in a couple of weeks and I will get my money. Okay, so the next item that sold is this cool brass horse head on a marble base. This has been listed for years. I don't know, maybe over 3 years. And I thought it was cool. I don't know why it took so long to sell, and it only sold for $31, but whatever. I am happy to get rid of it. I thought it was a cool piece. Apparently other people did not. I only paid $1 for it. So that made my profit $24.50. Whatever, I am happy to get it sold. Both these pieces sold on Cherish, if I didn't already say that. And this guy's head is peeking out of the paper here, but of course I'll add bubble wrap to that as well. Well, that's it so far. Another pretty disappointing week, but someone pointed out in my last week's video that I mentioned that I haven't been listing, and that could be why my sales are so slow. And that is a very good point, and I'm sure that that has a big part to do with it. I need to be listing. We all need to be listing and relisting, sending out offers, accepting reasonable offers. That will all help with our sales. Hopefully fourth quarter turns around for me. Like I've said, so today is November 1st, and I ended October on Poshmark, and my sales were right about half of what they were last year in October. Luckily, I'm up overall for the year, so I can look at that, but that is a significant change, and I am certain that that has to do with the changes that Poshmark made with the fees one way and then the other way. I think that can, kind of skew buyer confidence. Hopefully we can recover from this. I think I mentioned on Tuesday that I did get approved to sell jewelry on Cherish, and I'm excited to give that a try. I'm going to start copying some listings from Poshmark and adding some new items that I hadn't had listed yet. I will be listing all of the items at higher prices on Cherish than I am on Poshmark. Their fees are higher and the clientele is different, and I do feel like I can get better prices on there. So fingers crossed that will work, and I'll be able to sell some higher dollar items on there. Don't go anywhere. Hopefully this video will continue with what else I sell. So tomorrow's Saturday. If I have more sales, I will come back and share those. If not, I'll come back and share what my total sales for the week were, even though I really don't want to because they're terrible. It's okay. Brighter days are ahead. It will turn around. It always does. Okay, see you in a bit. Hey again, it's Saturday, and I do have a couple more sales to ship out, which I'm really happy about. They are both from Poshmark, and the first item is this great faux pearl bracelet. It's really a chunky bracelet, and it has a magnetic clasp. Just a nice little piece. It was in excellent condition. It sold for $26. This was given to me, so I have no cost of goods for it, which is nice. So that made my profit $20.80. This has been listed a really long time. I have been using my Posture VA to relist old items, and I've been having it relist 15 to 25 items per day. And that really seems to be helping get some of my older inventory, get new eyes on it. So I'm selling some things that I've had for a long time, which makes me really happy. Someone asked in the comments of my last video if I was trying to, or I was thinking about not selling on Poshmark anymore, and absolutely not. My plan is definitely to continue to sell on Poshmark. I think that we're just going through a rough spell. Times will get better and things will turn around. So try and stay positive. That's all we can do. Try and look at what the current trends are. You can do that through YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest. And when you're out thrifting, try and focus on looking for things that are trendy. Try and learn about some new brands. I think it's just going to continue to be important that we are as strategic as possible when we are sourcing our items, and that we are as active as possible on the platforms. So that means sharing, relisting items, following other people, going to the news feed and sharing other people's listings. What else? Going to the today's trends and sharing from there. As always, I only spend about 10 or 20 minutes a day doing these types of activities because I don't think that they're the most important thing. I always think listing and relisting and sending out offers are going to be your most important things that you can do to generate sales. But interacting every day positively with the app is always going to help generate sales for you. The other thing that I always try when my sales are slow is that I go through and I click on a listing, I hit edit, next, list. You can make changes to the listing or no changes to the listing, but I feel like somehow that refreshes the item and can make it become more visible in search and in the news feed. So if you're up for trying anything to increase your sales, I recommend giving that a try too. I used to do it for my whole closet. I actually used to do that multiple times a day for my whole closet, but now that I have 900 some items, that takes too long for me. But let's say you have 100 items or less in your closet, you could definitely do that in, 15, 20 minutes or so. And I really do think that it can make a difference. Okay, I'm to the point where I'm going to try anything to get my sales going again because they have just been not good at all. So the next item that sold is this fun handmade bucket purse. You can see how fine the weaving is there. It has a long leather strap. It's not really showing up very well right now because it's not stuffed, but I thought this was really a cool piece, but apparently no one else did because it took a really long time to sell, probably a couple of years, but it did end up selling for $44. So I think that is great. And I really hope the person really loves it. Maybe I didn't use the right keywords. I don't know. I'm glad that it sold. I paid $5 for this. So that made my profit $30.20. I think that's great for a purse. Of course, I didn't want to wait a couple of years to sell an item for that amount, but as I'm clearing through things and looking at pricing, accepting more offers, I think that's just what I'm going to have to do to move out some of this older inventory. Okay, so the good news is that my sales were better than last week. The bad news is they still weren't very good. So my total sales for the week were $486. My total cost of goods for the week was $33, so that's great. and my total profit after any website fees, cost of goods, and any shipping discounts was $352.52. A far cry from my $1,000 per week profit goal. But all weeks can't be great weeks, and I'm fortunate that I have had some really amazing months and weeks over the summer, and so I have saved from those for weeks or months like this. And that is a really important point to make, that if you are full-time or you're thinking about going full-time as a reseller, you always want to have a nest egg before you make the leap to going full-time. I had 3 months saved. And then when you are full-time and you have a really great month, you want to put that extra money aside for the slow times, because inevitably there will be slow times. So my statistics for the week, I sold a total of 11 items, which made my total average sale price $44.18. I'm happy with that. My average cost of goods was $3 per item, and my average profit per item was $32.05. Not as great as I've had in the past, but still all really good statistics. I aim to profit over $25 per item. I think that that is the least that I want to profit per item, taking into consideration the amount of time it takes to source, prep, list, photograph, store, all the things that go into reselling. A lot of people think that this is easy, and most of you know that it really is not that easy of a business. So thank you so very, very much for watching. I really hope all of your sales have turned around. Most of you are saying that you're not having that great of sales. I'm sure some people are. I don't know what to say. We just got to stay positive and keep going forward. And I know it will turn around eventually. Hopefully I'll put in a little clip of T-Bird. I know she hasn't made an appearance in a couple of weeks, and I know you guys really love to see her. As always, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and make a comment down below. All those things really help me out, and I will see you guys again next week. Thank you so much for watching. Good morning, T-Bird. Woo! Let there be light. T-Bird is excited to wake up. And my handsome husband in the background. Can you say good morning?
Good morning.
You ready for breakfast, T-Bird? Go get it. Go get it. Is that good? Some days she makes really cute noises when she's eating her breakfast, so hopefully we can get some. Is that good? Picking out her pistachio first. Seeing if there's any more. Is that good? Well, of course she's not going to make any of the cute noises this morning. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. We'll see you all next week.